You see, when a woman is genuinely turned on by your presence, when she gets wet just by seeing you, her body will always speak first. Long before she says a word, her physical responses will start giving everything away. And if you're not paying close attention, you might miss what's right in front of you. The truth is, her body language becomes a live broadcast of what she's feeling inside. It's not loud or exaggerated. It's subtle, almost like her body is whispering her desire. But if you know what to look for, you'll hear it loud and clear. Start with how she positions herself around you. If she's sitting with her legs crossed, but slowly uncrosses them when you arrive. Or better yet, if she naturally opens her body toward you. It's a quiet invitation. That open posture isn't about comfort. It's about instinct. Her body is telling you it's safe, that she wants to be closer, that she's letting her guard down. And that openness can often be a signal that her arousal has already started kicking in. When a woman feels turned on, she unconsciously removes barriers. Watch closely. Her arms won't be folded, her legs won't be closed off. She'll be receptive, and her energy will feel magnetic. Another sign. Movement, if she's touching herself. No, not in the way you think, but playing with her necklace, brushing her fingers across her collarbone, slowly stroking her thigh, or constantly running her hand through her hair. She's not just fixing her appearance. That's her body's way of releasing nervous, sexual energy. Her touch becomes slower, more deliberate, more sensual. Even the way she holds her phone or leans against a table can change. It all becomes softer, more fluid, almost like her body is sensing with the rhythm of desire. Then there's proximity. If a woman is turned on by you, really turned on, she'll find reasons to shrink the distance. She won't just stand next to you. She'll angle her hips toward you, tilt her head in your direction, lean in just a little more than necessary when you speak. It's not random. It's attraction in motion. And if she's willing to let that space between you disappear, chances are something far more intimate is already happening in her body. She's responding to your presence in a visceral way, and she probably couldn't hide it, even if she tried. Now, notice how her breathing changes. You'll hear it before you see it. It might get a little deeper, a little slower, or sometimes a little quicker, like she's trying to regulate herself. Arousal often triggers these physiological changes: increased heart rate, flushed cheeks, and yes, even a bit of warmth between her legs. That's real. That's biology. Her body is quite literally reacting to your energy, your scent, your vibe. And that reaction becomes visible in how she holds herself, how she breathes, and how she moves. And don't forget the eyes. When she scans your body slowly, when her gaze lingers just a beat too long, when she looks down at your mouth and then back up at your eyes. Believe me, that's not accidental. That's desire leaking through the cracks. And the longer it lingers, the more her body will follow. Even her lips might part slightly, or she might moisten them unconsciously. That's not nerves. That's chemistry. Her body doesn't lie. When she's wet just from seeing you, she won't always say it out loud, but her posture, her movements, her distance, and the softness in her eyes will say everything you need to know. Eye contact is one of the most powerful, unspoken ways a woman communicates her desire. And when she's wet just by seeing you, her eyes will make that crystal clear. There's a shift in the way she looks at you that's impossible to fake. It's not just a polite glance or casual attention. It's deeper. It's focused. Her gaze becomes locked in, almost if she's studying you, absorbing every detail, and trying to pull you in with nothing but her stare. And she's not doing it to be polite. She's doing it because something inside her has already been activated, and now her eyes are chasing the connection her body already feels. You'll know this kind of eye contact because it holds weight. It doesn't flicker nervously around the room. It doesn't break quickly when you catch it. No, she holds it. She wants to see your reaction. She wants to be seen. And in that moment, The eye contact becomes a silent dance. One look tells you more than 100 words ever could. And if her pupils are slightly dilated while she's doing it, that's not just a trick of the light. It's a biological sign of arousal. Her body is reacting in real time, and her eyes are revealing everything. There's also a certain softness that comes with it. It's not a cold or calculating look. It's warm. It's open. It's curious. And it carries a subtle kind of vulnerability that only surfaces when someone feels emotionally and physically drawn to you. She's not just looking at you. She's looking into you. Like she wants to know more. Like she wants to be closer. And when that energy is charged with sexual tension, her stare becomes magnetic. You'll feel it. It will hit you in the chest. And your body will respond, even your brain is still trying to process what's happening. Now, don't underestimate what happens when she drops her gaze, and then brings it back up slowly. That moment when she looks down, maybe at your lips, maybe at your chest, and then locks eyes with you again. That's desire. That's the kind of look that says, she's not just checking you out, she's imagining. She's visualizing something deeper, something intimate, and her body is reacting to those thoughts. You've become more than just a visual. You're now part of her mental stimulation. And that arousal doesn't stay in her mind. It travels through her body. There's a reason why intense eye contact can feel so intimate, even before anything physical happens. When a woman sees a man who excites her on that primal level, her gaze becomes a form of touch. It caresses, it teases, it invites. And the more she holds that contact, the more her body responds. Her breathing may shift, her posture may soften, and beneath the surface, there's a very real possibility that she's feeling wetness build between her thighs. Not because of what you did, but because of who you are and how you carry yourself. Sometimes she'll smile through the stare. Not a wide, friendly smile, but a knowing, almost mischievous one. It's the kind of smile that lets you know she's not just attracted to you. She's thinking about you in ways she's not saying out loud. And that combination of gaze and subtle smirk, that's a green light if there ever was one. When a woman is with just by looking at you, her eyes will give her away every time. It's a connection that bypasses words and speaks directly to the chemistry alive between you. When a woman is aroused by you, truly wet just from being in your presence, her voice becomes one of the most subtle yet powerful giveaways. You might not even notice it at first, but listen carefully. Her tone begins to shift. It softens. It slows down. The words roll off her tongue with a certain warmth and breathiness that wasn't there before. She's not just speaking to communicate. She's speaking in a rhythm that mirrors the way she feels inside. And that rhythm is laced with tension, curiosity, and desire. This isn't the kind of voice she uses with everyone. It's not the upbeat, friendly tone she gives the cashier or the polite voice she uses in meetings. No, this voice is reserved. It's instinctive. And it only emerges when something, or someone, triggers her on a deeper level. It's almost as if her body is trying to calm itself down while her excitement is building underneath the surface. That softness, that slower pace, it's her way of staying composed while something more physical brews within her. Sometimes her voice might even dip slightly in pitch. It becomes huskier, more intimate. And if you're paying attention, you'll realize she's drawing you in, even if she doesn't consciously mean to. Arousal causes all sorts of subtle physiological reactions. Her vocal cords relax, her breath deepens, and what you hear is the physical expression of her mental and emotional state. She's trying to stay cool, but her voice is betraying the tension she feels every time you speak, every time you get just a little too close. You might also notice her using more pauses. It's like she's giving space between her words, allowing the silence to carry the weight of her thoughts. That kind of silence isn't empty. It's charged. She might take a breath before finishing a sentence, or she might laugh quietly and then let the moment hang. It's not awkward. It's deliberate. Those pauses are a sign she's feeling something, and her body is reacting faster than her mind can fully keep up with. And then there's the choice of words. When she's in this space, when she's wet just from seeing you, she may unconsciously use more suggestive or playful language. She might tease a little more. She might respond in ways that hint at something beneath the surface, almost like she's testing the waters, seeing if you feel it too. Even her compliments or casual comments might carry a slight flirtatious edge, wrapped in that soft, drawn-out delivery that's designed to stir something in you, just as much as she's already stirred within herself. Her laughter can also change. It's lighter, more frequent. Not because everything is suddenly funnier, but because her arousal is making her more emotionally open and responsive. And when she laughs, it's not forced. It's almost musical, layered with warmth and the hint of tension she doesn't know how to release yet. Her voice isn't just communicating words anymore. It's communicating energy. It's telling a story that her lips aren't saying out loud. When a woman is turned on, her voice becomes one of the most honest indicators. Not because she's trying to seduce you with it, but because her body won't let her hide it. Her voice changes because she changes. And once you start noticing the shift, once you hear that softness, that slowed down rhythm, that breathy undertone, you'll know exactly what kind of effect you're having on her. One of the clearest, most undeniable signs that a woman is wet just from seeing you is the way she keeps finding excuses to be near you. She might not say it directly. She may not even realize she's doing it. But her actions will reveal everything. Arousal creates this pull, a magnetic force that draws her closer to the person causing it. So, when she's turned on, being close to you isn't just something she wants. It's something her body feels compelled to do. Watch how she moves around you. If she enters a room and naturally gravitates toward your side, or if she adjusts her seat to face you, those aren't just friendly gestures. Those are subtle signs that her physical attraction is overpowering her sense of space. When a woman is turned on, the concept of distance shifts. What felt neutral before now feels like too much space. She wants proximity. She wants to feel your presence, your energy, your vibe. And the closer she gets, the more intense that feeling becomes. It might show up in small ways at first. She stands next to you instead of across from you. She leans in when you're speaking, even when she can already hear you just fine. She brushes by you even when there's plenty of space to walk. These moments might seem casual, but they aren't accidental. Her body is trying to close the gap, trying to create intimacy without making it obvious. That need for closeness is her arousal trying to express itself physically, without words. And then there's the touch. When a woman is turned on, she may start touching you lightly, casually, like it doesn't mean anything. But believe me, it does. Maybe she places her hand on your arm when she laughs. Maybe she adjusts your collar, picks lint off your shirt, or bumps her leg against yours and doesn't move it. These aren't just habits. These are invitations. Each touch, no matter how small, is a release of energy. It's her way of connecting to you, of transferring that heat she feels inside in the only way she can in that moment. You'll notice these touches become more frequent the more aroused she feels. And they don't always come with explanation. She might not even justify them. That's the beauty of it. Her desire overrides her filter. It becomes harder to resist contact, harder to play it cool because her body is reacting faster than her logic can process. The chemistry is taking over. And in that space, closeness becomes irresistible. Even her body orientation will change. If she's sitting beside you, she might turn her body to face you fully. Her knees, her chest, her shoulders. They all point toward you like you're the center of gravity. And that's exactly what you've become. You've triggered a reaction in her, and now her instincts are working to stay in that energy, to stay close enough to feel it fully. She's leaning into what excites her, She's drawn to the comfort, the tension, the unspoken possibility that lives between you. She might even mirror your movements, another subconscious cue that her body is in sync with yours. If you cross your arms, she does too. If you shift, she shifts. This mirroring is more than mimicry. It's a form of emotional and physical alignment, and it almost always happens when someone is deeply attracted, especially when that attraction is building into something more physical. When a woman is wet just from seeing you, being close to you isn't a choice. It's a response. And the more excuses she finds to be near you or to touch you, the more her body is revealing what her lips haven't said yet. It might sound surprising, but one of the most overlooked signs that a woman is wet when she sees you is nervousness. Yes, that jittery, fidgety, can't quite sit still energy that seems to come out of nowhere. And the reason it often goes unnoticed because we tend to associate arousal with boldness or confidence. But in reality, when a woman is turned on by you, her body can react with a kind of excitement that feels overwhelming. That excitement, that tension, doesn't always look sleek or seductive. It can look like restlessness. Maybe she starts playing with her hands, twisting rings, tugging at her sleeves, or adjusting her hair over and over again. Maybe her leg is bouncing under the table, or she's constantly shifting in her seat like she can't quite get comfortable. That physical unease is not disinterest. It's the opposite. Her body is charged with so much energy, she's looking for an outlet. And in that moment, she might not even be fully aware of what's happening. All she knows is that something about you is making her feel things. Deeply. Physically. And she doesn't know what to do with all that sensation. The more she tries to keep her composure, the more the nervousness builds. She may laugh at something that isn't particularly funny or forget her train of thought mid-sentence. Her usual cool demeanor starts to unravel just a little, and it's because her body is working overtime to process the effect you're having on her. That loss of control, however slight, is a major clue. When someone gets wet just by seeing you, their body is already in a heightened state, and keeping it hidden becomes harder the longer they're around you. You might notice her voice shake slightly, or she might speak a little too fast and then slow down, trying to regain control. Her hands might tremble just a little when she's holding something. Her phone, a glass, a pen. These aren't signs of fear. They're signs of pressure. The pressure of attraction. The pressure of trying to act normal while her body is experiencing a very real and very physical reaction to your presence. Even her breath gives her away. She might sigh more often or take deeper breaths between sentences. Her chest rises and falls with a different rhythm. And if you really pay attention, you'll see that she's trying to regulate herself, trying to calm down the rising heat that she's feeling. And that heat, that sensation, that's the buildup of arousal. That's the moisture forming in response to your voice, your scent, your energy. And no matter how hard she tries to play it cool, her nervous system is responding for her. She might also get a bit clumsy, drop something, stumbles over her words, laughs at herself and gets slightly embarrassed. That kind of reaction usually comes from a place of intense stimulation. It's not a sign that she's uncomfortable. It's a sign that she's overwhelmed in the best way. That energy inside her is bubbling over, and her body is finding little ways to release it, to cope with the fact that she's feeling so much all at once. So when you see her fidgeting, blushing, fixing things that don't need to be fixed, or looking momentarily flustered around you, don't write it off as awkwardness. That tension you're noticing is often arousal in disguise. And the truth is, when a woman is wet just from seeing you, her nerves aren't something she can hide. They become the very thing that reveals how deeply you've affected her. There's a level of attraction so intense that a woman's body responds before her mind can even process what's happening. One of the most intimate and raw indicators of that level of arousal is the change in her scent and skin. And the truth is, These changes are so subtle, so natural, that unless you're really paying attention, you might miss them. But they're there. Clear. Physical signals that her body is preparing itself for something deeper. When she's wet just by seeing you, her skin and scent are no longer neutral. They start speaking their own language. Let's talk about scent first. Arousal triggers the release of pheromones, and these chemical signals are powerful. They're not like perfume or lotion. This is her natural scent, heightened and more pronounced. You might catch it when she leans in, when she hugs you, or even when she walks past. It's warm, earthy, soft, and hard to describe. But once you smell it, it hits something primal. That shift in scent isn't just random. It's a sign that her body is reacting to your presence in a deeply physical way. Even the way her perfume sits on her skin can change. When she's turned on, her body temperature rises slightly. That subtle warmth causes her scent to amplify.